Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we would be seeing about operators in Airflow. We have already seen operators. If we go to any of our previous example, we have bash operator, we have Python operator, and what are these operators doing? These operators are calling, in case if we have the Python operator, we are calling a Python method, and inside this Python method, we are implementing some kind of logic, whatever we want. So operators are being used by the tasks to do some stuff, right? Similarly, in the real world, when we let's take an example of the AWS world, we might want to trigger some glue job, we might want to trigger some lambda function, we might want to create some table in AMR, we might want to create some table in Athena, all those things. So in those cases, we need some operators to do the stuff in AWS also, right? So we do have the operators. In case if you have a scenario where the operator does not exist, then you can create a custom operator by inheriting the base operator. But mostly, ideally, 99% of the time, we already have the operators because Airflow is widely used open source community. So now let me show you some. We already saw Python operator, bash operator, and all, right? So let's check some of the AWS operators. So now if you come to Athena.py example, here I have a DAG, this particular DAG, okay, and here if you see, I am having Athena operator, I have a task, and this Athena operator takes the query as another argument. Here I am just creating a table. If you want, you can give the select statement also. Here I am just creating another table. Okay, I am just doing a simple transformations. Then this is another table with another transformation. So here we have to concentrate on this Athena operator. Athena operator will take the query and make sure that we execute that query in Athena. Similarly, if you want something in the glue, if you see here, we have a glue crawler operator. If you want to run a crawler, okay, from Airflow, we have a glue crawler operator. In case if you want to trigger a glue job directly, we have glue job operator where we have to give the job name, the script location, bucket, IAM role, and all. Okay. Similarly, if you want to trigger a lambda function, okay, if you see this is a lambda code, I'll trigger and show you the lambda as well. I can't trigger the glue because it costs me. Lambda and Athena are very little, so I'll just show you those, and I'll show you S3 as well, the copy stuff as well in S3. Now if you see the lambda, here in lambda also, to trigger a lambda function, if from Airflow, in case if you want, we have an operator, lambda invoke function operator. It takes the task ID, the lambda function name, and the payload which we want to trigger the lambda, because ideally lambda will get triggered with some events, right? So here we are saying in this bucket, once this let's assume this file has arrived, and then trigger it. Okay, so this is the lambda. And similarly, we have an S3. See, if you see S3 copy object operator, delete objects operator. Okay, so this is used to copy. If you see the source bucket name, destination bucket name, what is the source key and the destination key. The source keys and all, destination key and all we have mentioned here. The source data, input data, and the target data. In case if you want to delete also, we have the delete operator, the task ID, the bucket name, or what is the key you want to delete. If you have multiple, you can just keep comma separated, and we have just created the hierarchy. So just in high level, operators are being used by the task to make the work done. That's it. We have already seen the Python and bash operator. Here we are seeing some of the AWS operators. Okay, so now let's go and trigger the Athena. Here we are creating all these tables, right? So I have already tested, so let's go and kill that delete those tables first. Let me come here. I have all these tables, right? Raw table and all. So let me delete all these tables. So I have deleted all the tables. So now let's come and trigger our DAG. Okay, now let's go to the DAGs, and now this is the DAG. If you see, inside which we aren't doing much, just the Athena operators. That's it. The database name we are giving, the output location we are giving, and all those things we are passing here. Here the database name which it has to use, the query results where it has to store, and all the S3 path we have given. Okay, that's it. So now let's come here and let's trigger this DAG, and everything gets executed one by one. The first task is reading the files from this raw data path, right? Raw data path means S3 bucket, raw data. Let's go and check if we have that. Did I not trigger this? Let me trigger this, and then let's go here. Inside this we have raw data here. This particular file it is reading. Okay, the CSV file which I have given, this data.csv, this particular data only is being read. Okay, now let's go to the DAGs. Now the first one was about to execute. We have already deleted the tables. If you want, we'll again refresh. We don't have any tables. Let me close all tabs. See, oh, the raw table got created. Might be the task has been done. This particular task is almost done. So it's still in the running state, but it might have done. So this raw table got created because we have deleted this before. Now the next the transform data gets created. It's running, right? So now let's come here and now let's refresh. It's not created. So now once this is done, once this is executed, we'll get the another table and then the final table. So this is how we can use the Athena operators to do some job in Athena. Okay. So now let's go and check the lambda one. Okay. So now let's go and check the lambda. Here if you see, so now let's see the lambda code. Here if you see, this is just the lambda code, and once the event happens, based on that event, I am just reading that particular body in that key. That's it. I am just printing that content in that key. That's it. I am just doing nothing. So now if you go to this lambda, here we are just triggering that by passing these two payload. Now if I come here and if I come to the lambda trigger job, and before that let me go and show you the lambda function. So if you see, I have Airflow lambda function. It triggers based on the event, and I have the code as well here. If you see this particular thing, the same code which I have showed in Visual Studio, it is just reading the stuff here. That's it. Now when we come to Airflow and trigger this, we should be able to see the logs, the content which we have read. Okay, so it's running. So let me go to the cloud. It is executed, so it might have triggered. So let me go to CloudWatch. Okay, and let's go to this lambda logs. And what is the latest one? 736, this one. And if you see, this particular file has been processed, input data test file.txt. Now if you go to the code and if you see input data test file.txt, it failed because it could not find that key. Might be that file does not exist, but the intention is to trigger the lambda. So we have triggered the lambda using the invoke lambda function operator. Similarly, let's do some stuff in S3. Okay, now if we come to this S3 code, okay, we are just copying and deleting, right? So now let's go and trigger this S3. What is the name of the DAG? S3 copy delete list DAG. So now let's go here, S3 copy delete DAG. That's it. And now we can trigger this. And if we see the code, where are we copying from? We are copying from this bucket, Praveen Airflow Athena, this path. So that this has been failed. So let's check why it has failed first. If you see, it is saying no such key. The specified key does not exist. So let's go and upload that key. Okay, the source inside Athena source data input data.csv, inside Praveen Airflow Athena source data input. We don't have that file, so let's upload that file, data.csv. That's it. We have uploaded it. Upload and close, and now we can trigger it again. So to trigger from the failed task, we can use clear task here. I just clicked on the specific task, clicked on clear task. If you see, I clicked on this downstream. When I expand this, I want all the downstream from this specific failed task, from this copy object task. So when you do clear, the same rerun will happen for all the downstream tasks. See, it started running again. Now we have uploaded the data, so the copy should happen into the target. So let's go to this target data output, no object. So once this job is done, we should see that the copy has been done now. So let's go and refresh this. No, so let's check the version. Might be the delete task has also executed. So if you see the February 8 1309, so right now it's 109. So the copy has been done and the delete has been done. Might be the job is done. Yeah, that's why both have been completed. So these are all the operators. So the intention of this video is to show you, like, there are multiple operators in Airflow with which we can do a lot of complex tasks. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.